You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant.
Hey, we're back with a new episode of Truly Unruly, and this is wild, everybody, because this just sprung upon me. I'm thinking the Trufants are going to be home because the kids have started school and all these wonderful things and activities that the children have going on. No, you know what these Negroes decide to do? They go to Hawaii. They just got back from the DR, but they go to Hawaii. I have no idea why they're in Hawaii, what they're doing in Hawaii, if they got flued out. I just felt like saying that. What's the scoop? What's going on, you guys? What's popping? And Jess looks like she's about to go do a jazzercise. Like, what are we doing?
We kicking it. We kicking it tough.
Hey, Kel,
man.
we don't know how we're in Hawaii either. We really
know.
don't know. It was pretty last minute, and we had to call on the troops, the friends, everybody to help us so we could get down here to actually celebrate his brother's birthday.
Shout out to Young Dez. Shout out to Young Dez.
Yeah.
Or and not so young Dez no more.
I know, old ass Dez. He's
okay, because I was about to say I was like I don't like finding out that the people that I work for leaves town on Instagram. And I'm not even on Instagram. I got to go on the show's page. I go on the show page and it's like, we're off, and they're cheersing everybody in like first class with their cups. Just going, cheers everybody.
I just talked to these guys yesterday,
and
right?
Like,
yeah.
What? And then Marcus is like, oh, hey, by the way, we brought all the equipment with us, so we're good to record, but we're in Hawaii. And I'm just
making it happen, man. If you could see what this set looks like, it's pretty
it's pretty legit. He did a good ass job.
It's pretty blasphemous. Got the ironing board and extension cords. We made it work, though.
Ironing board coming through the vans. Tennis shoes are coming through for a stand. Like, come on.
Truly unruly by any means necessary. You feel me?
I loved it. I love it. But that's cool, though. You guys are down there celebrating your brother's birthday. It's all love. Mm-hmm. You're playing golf tomorrow, Marcus, you said?
Yeah, man. Playing golf tomorrow. So I brought my clubs this time when we went to the Dominican. I didn't bring my clubs. I had rental clubs. That definitely was not few good days of golf, but I'm going to try to get it in this time. So me and Daz will probably be betting. So I had to bring my goodies with me so I could show up.
There you go.
So, hey, you better win.
I know.
And Jess, are you ladies doing like a girls' day tomorrow since they're gonna be playing golf? You guys got like spa lined up, or what do you guys got popping?
Well, nothing that exciting. I rented 2 chairs outside. 2 chairs that have covers at the pool.
That's something.
So we can, because actually it was kind of overcast but warm, and when the sun came out, it was like Marcus and I were passing a towel back and forth. We were sweating bullets out there. So it'll be nice to have a little cover. So that's what we're doing. I'm here to relax.
This is dope because this is the first time you guys been back to Hawaii since what? The incident
almost 2 years.
With 2 years with was it the binder, the COVID
for
binder.
My birthday, right?
The COVID binder, for Marcus's birthday, the binder when we was fighting people over chairs and stuff. And music. Yep.
It got a little rough out here in Hawaii.
It did.
That was in the heart of COVID, if I remember correctly.
It was in the heart of COVID. Yeah. We had to Yeah.
What I want to chat with you guys about, because I don't really have any notes, but I was on the golf course and a buddy of mine was telling me about his newly teenage daughter, and he suspects that she's now finally interested in dating. He was like, you guys should talk about that on the podcast. I was like, well, we've talked about the sex talk before, but I was like, but I don't think we've necessarily like dug into dating. He's like, he's like, I don't really even know how to have this conversation with her, or if my wife and I should have it together. He's like, because you, as a parent, and he's black, he's like, but as a parent, black folks, he's like, we think our whole lives, like, we know exactly what we're going to say when our kids start dating, and we're going to tell them, our daughters, how these dudes are, and we're going to tell our sons how these girls are. But then he's just like, I just froze, and I don't know how to have this discussion with her without making it seem awkward for the both of us. So you guys as parents with teenage daughters, I don't know if your daughters are dating, but what would be what would be some advice you guys would give to try to, I guess, approach your teenager about now entering this new weird space in life, I guess?
First of all, why is it such a weird space? Why is it so awkward? Your friend is acting like his daughter was like, hey, I want to fuck this dude. And so
that could be an option. Though.
That is here it is.
That's an option, though.
Dating, I think that's much easier to navigate than sex, even though neither one should be difficult to navigate because it's a part of life and it's how you find your mate and all that kind of stuff, you know? But yeah, it's calm down. Maybe it's a guy thing. Maybe he doesn't know because it's his daughter. So he's like, whoa,
that's what I think it is.
What do I say?
Right. I think that's exactly what I think. And he's a dad. So it's like, you have that protective part of you as a father where you're just like, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do I try to be more of the modern parent and try to have just a conversation without it, and you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm laughing because, and also being that it's a dad, it's a dude. It's another guy. And your daughter's like, I want to date. And he's probably going, well, when I was doing that and the wheels are turning and
that's
what
fine.
he probably may have.
All that is fair conversation.
But you do have to have the conversation.
I think when it comes to this subject, especially with daughters, well, I don't even think it matters. It could be boys or girls, but kids in most situations, early teens, they don't know what they're doing, right? When it comes to these relationships, sometimes they don't know what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like, whether they've seen it on TikTok or they've seen it in a Disney movie or they heard about it from their friends, what they think it's supposed to look like. So information, I think, is key. Yeah, it's going to be weird. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but to have a realistic conversation of what a relationship should look like, boundaries, if you do go the sex route, how do we have a safe, healthy relationship? And I think that's where you start. Right.
Well, you know what starts having like kind of dating and a relationship and your expectations, it's modeled at home, really, especially, you know, in a 2-parent situation or whatever. It's modeled at home. So his daughter's probably already seen how mommy and daddy are and how daddy treats mommy and all that kind of stuff. And I think it sets a precedent before they even start dating, you know? Because, hello, I never saw my parents do that. So why the hell would I take that or whatever from some random dude or girl?
But to that, Jess, you have to talk about peer pressures, right?
You still have to talk about all of that.
From from your boyfriend or girlfriend, what that looks like. Guys, of course, are gonna try. Well, and not of course, but in a lot of situations, pressure girls to do certain things. Girls may pressure boys to do certain things. So what? You should have your foundation that you stand on as a person, as our child. So we're going to tell you exactly what this is supposed to look like, what this is supposed to feel like. And yeah, just start there. That foundation of information, and just not throw them to the world and kind of let them learn on their own. Even though
you don't want them to learn on their own. You do not want them to learn on their own. Not like that. Not something like that. Something that can, you know.
But they do have to figure out a little bit of it on their own. You don't want to be a helicopter parent, of course, when it comes to these relationships. No. They have to learn and find their own space or where they want to be. But information, again, is key.
Right. It takes both parents talking to the child, right? I think both can talk to them. They can talk together and then follow up separately and, you know, give a little bit more detail or advice or something like that. But
honesty, too. Honesty.
Well, yeah.
Of things we used to do, even though it could be rated R, or it could be rated X, but just being honest and not.
Damn. Rated X? What the fuck?
Not keeping them in the dark is what I'm trying to say. And not put ourselves rated on the pedestal so they don't feel. They might feel like they're defeated or something, like if something goes wrong in their relationship or if they're treated this way or if they treat somebody this way. Let's be honest about everything and just put everything out there. And again, for the third time, information.
Yes.
Do you tell them that, hey, just so you know, there probably will be a time in your life where your heart's going to get broken. Do you have that conversation also? Because I've watched with like cousins of mine, and I have sisters that like, that first breakup, and it's like, oh my God. And I'm like, you're 14. You thought you were going to marry him,
Well, here's one thing that I think the first breakup, you start off, you can have many loves in your life. You can have that throughout your lifetime. Just finding one person and, that's the end all be all. That's rare, right? So you're going to have many loves in your life. You're going to feel like your heart has been ripped. But you know what? You can say all these things, but a teenager, because they are not mature, it's still going to go, it'll always be in the back of their brain, but they're going to come undone the first time they experience heartache. But your words that you will feel like your life is over, your life is ending, there's no one else in the world. There is somebody. There are a million. Well, not a million, but that's not the end all be all. You just have to really kind of drill that home. There is always something better. You're young. And yes, the guy or the girl was a loser anyway.
To go with that, I think we have to be careful of making our kids, is jaded the right word? Or
could be
being
jaded.
Like, okay, I'm in this relationship, but I'm not really in it type of thing, in fear, or being like, okay, I'm only 14, so I don't want to invest too much of myself in that. I think we got to be aware of that, even though that we want to give them all of the do's and don'ts and want them to have all the knowledge that we have. But just like you said, Jess, they're not mature enough to really understand that. You got to meet them exactly where they're at. So I think what it is for that breakup, or when that heartbreak comes, parents just be there to support, not the being like, I told you so, or don't worry about it because you're young and you got all this stuff going on. Right. Just be there to support. And of course, they're 14, 12, 13, 14, 15, but in their life and the way they're feeling, this is the end of the world.
It's the end of the world.
But we got to be there to support and let them know it's plenty fish in the sea.
But I can tell you something, and I don't know if this is just my theory, if I maybe am right, but I remember my first real heartache, and I was torn apart, crying. I remember my mom was like rubbing my head, and I'm just, my life is over. I was one of those kids. But
a Disney movie.
One of the reasons why my life was so over was because I was sleeping with the boy. And I think that as a kid, that just adds another layer. When you don't even know how to handle your own emotions and you bring in something like that, I think that's when you see kids, boys and girls, really tore up behind somebody. Because you might be dating somebody and really, really like them, and y'all break up, and you're like upset, but you're like, you know what? Anyways, but when you involve intimacy, I think for a kid, it becomes very difficult to detach from that person. I don't know. That just might be mine. And I have a couple of people that I know who have experienced that, and their daughter's sheer heartache was because they were intimately involved with their dude.
Question, Jess. Question. So do you think that might have been different if your parents would have came to you and kind of let you know about being intimate with young men and kind of where their heads at and kind of what they're going through? And that's what I'm talking about. The information
it would have been totally
side of
different.
it. Yeah. Talk to your daughters.
Totally
talk
different.
to your sons. Okay, yeah, you might be having sex, but that doesn't mean that you guys are married, right? I know we have different things that come into play, talk about religion and this and that and what you're supposed to be doing, it says the world. But if you're having sex, and in most cases when you talk about boys are just trying to get it in at times. So, and I know it's, of course, there's girls that are like that too, but we have to have these conversations. Me as a dad, I need to have that conversation with my daughter. If you're going to be having sex with this boy, don't expect him to change. He's still a young man, still trying to figure it out. Yep. So that's what I talk about when I'm talking about information. Yep.
That's the real. That is the real. Do not try to change. You guys, it ain't going to happen. You're not going to change this dude. This dude, most likely, you guys aren't going to get married, that kind of thing. Don't, do not expect that. But taking it back a couple of steps, because we jumped right into sex, to dating, one of the things that I did tell Carmen, because she did, our daughters don't date. I don't know if it's like
not yet
going to a Christian school, just they're really kind of in a bubble.
They got time.
I have no idea.
Like you're trying to put them out there now.
I had boyfriends in like 4th grade. Are you kidding me?
So, but you was fast.
No, I was not fast. I was not fast. I had a little boy give me this little. Now, I went to all white elementary school, right? But I dated the 3 black boys that were there. And seriously. And one
all
of
3?
them.
Damn.
Yeah. Right. All 3. 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. It's 4 of them. I dated all of them. There was a handful of them I dated. I pretty much dated them all. Anyways. So in the 3rd grade, this guy, he shall remain nameless. He gave me a ring and I brought it home and I showed, did my mom see it? My dad did he almost shoot everybody in the house over this? Something like that. And I had to give the ring back to the boy. It wasn't a diamond ring. I don't even know where he probably stole it from his mom, right? Damn. Out of her costume jewelry. But yeah, no, I was getting rings in the 4th grade from boys. But back to my point, I digress. I was telling Carmen, you don't ever do anything or let a boy do anything that you do not want to do. If you do not want to be touched, you make that clear. You set the boundaries. Because, boys and girls, they can be a little like just kind of seeing how far they can get, the touching, the kid. Do not do it unless you are okay with it, ready. Because some girls and boys are not ready to even hold a hand or have a boy reach out and touch them. Right? Don't touch me until I'm ready. And I said, if you're ready and you want him to hold your hand, you want him to touch your arm, you want him to kiss you, that is okay. Because it doesn't make sense to say don't, because they're going to do it anyway. But just kind of put the ball in their court.
Right.
It is, you have control of this.
And before we jump off, Kale, I don't know if you're going to jump to another question. And we jumped right into the sex, right? But when you talk about dating and you talk about being in a relationship, and I'm only going to speak from a boy's point of view or from a young man's point of view, you want to communicate these things or how to treat a woman. You want to be able to open doors. You want to treat a girl nice. You want to do these things that they can learn and they can grow into being a responsible man to have a real relationship. All this social media, all this crazy stuff, all this foolishness they see on a daily basis, you have to combat that with real life conversation and real life experience. So it's not just about the sex, but it's about how to treat somebody and how you feel like you should be treated as well. I want to be able to feel good. I don't want somebody talking down to me. I don't need somebody screaming at it. I don't want nobody hitting me. All those type of things that come into that conversation.
Yep. You there, Kel?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, you thought I was frozen?
He was locked in.
Right.
I wanted to go back to your earlier point, Marcus, about getting the message across of, make sure that you might not want to take the relationship too seriously at a young age because this isn't a person that you're going to be with forever. Well, since they can approach it that way, like you wouldn't want them to go into it that way since they're not mature enough. Just don't take it seriously because you're not mature enough. They're not mature enough. And this gives you a time and a window to just learn about people and just learn about yourself. So you do figure out like there are these kind of people in the world. These are those kind of people. I know that sounds like very responsible, but I guess like from experience, and now we're all grown adults, and you look back at like, well, damn, what would I have done in my first relationship different?
I think that's fair, Kel. I think that's fair to not take it too serious. And what I was trying to say earlier is that you don't want to set kids up for failure, right? Because what you practice is what you become. Okay, I'm not going to take this relationship serious. And I know I'm only 12 or 13, but I still might practice that. I get to my 20s and I'm kind of going through that same thing. So I said it's kind of like a gray area and you kind of got to toe the line, but you do want to be able to protect your kids from getting too deep and being hurt. And at the same time, though, just like in Jess's situation, you learn from those situations and you grow from that. And it only helps if you have the support of your parents.
Well, we have been groomed to be in relationships. That is kind of what we're here for, right? To find your love, have kids, this magical thing, whatever. And I kind of am in the middle. You don't care. I agree. You shouldn't take it too seriously. But at the same time, you don't want to go around like, fuck it. Because you can end up hurting the other person.
Right. And you don't have to be
that way.
In a relationship. You said we're groomed.
We are groomed to be constantly looking for our mate, starting from a young age. That's like girls when we play Barbie
that's
and
human
wedding.
Nature, though. I don't think that's
right. That's where we come
not
in.
groomed. It is human nature,
human.
but
like,
we're also.
You find somebody that makes you happy.
You see it on TV. You see it everywhere. It's like, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. This is on social media everywhere. This is what you do. And so that's where it is. There will be you can have many loves in your life. And sometimes they're just there for a lesson. Not necessarily I don't think you should be pressing upon your kids to settle down with the first person they meet, because that's strange. Because there are so many other people in this world that you could be missing out.
I agree, Jess. You shouldn't be telling them to settle down and get married and look to have kids at 13. But I think what parents could be doing or should be doing is coaching through that process, right? It's not about the settling down, but what are you learning through this? How is your young boyfriend or girlfriend treating you? How are you treating them? What are the boundaries in the relationship? Can we talk through what sex looks like and all that kind of stuff? So it's not so much about settling down, but it's about learning as these situations come about. And the kids, of course, they are going to be weird about it and they're going to think they got all the answers, but they don't.
And asking, like you said, you got to coach them through it and continually check in and ask questions. It's like Carmen, when she actually does start dating and I see that this guy is sticking around, they're hanging out, they're trying to, I'll start to ask more questions. So what is this geared towards? Are you having deep feelings for him? Are you having sexual feelings for like stuff that we really need to talk about? Mm-hmm. Are you guys thinking about having sex? Because if so,
right, we probably should have that.
Let's have another conversation.
Parents should have that conversation even before kids.
Well, you have it before,
right? Yeah,
and then you have it. You keep coaching and checking in. You've got to ask.
All they're gonna do is lie.
You've got to ask questions.
Can do is give information.
But if you set the foundation,
lie right to our face,
like we have with our kids, even though we're not just walking around like sex all day, they know that babies, well, I'm just saying, they know that babies don't come from storks. They know that they are definitely not dropped down from heaven, fully formed into your stomach, right? What?
My bad.
So once they already know these things, it's just a lot easier to kind of transition when they start dating. Just going, hey, trying to have sex with your dude? Like, all right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about, that's when you can have the conversations about birth control and all that kind of stuff. And people are wondering why so many young girls and stuff have to have abortions, which they're trying to take away. Because we don't fucking talk about sex, dumb fucking dumbs. And all of these poor boys and girls are just misinformed, uninformed, and are doing all of these things. And they have to end up driving out of Texas to a different fucking state to get an abortion. What?
No, that's facts. So should you just be like super blunt? Because like I feel like I'm the parent that's gonna be like, hey, you should be very particular and be very picky with who you want to do this with, because you don't want to just be another body, right?
Yep. Life is blunt. Shit. Life slaps you in your face. Even as a kid in a relationship, it'll slap you in your face. So I feel like you have to keep it very real. You cannot sugarcoat something that is serious, because dating is serious.
Right.
I think so. When you start putting yourself out there and getting your feelings and possibly your body involved, it's serious. You can't sugarcoat that shit.
I would say that everybody has their own style, though. So each parent, kids are different. So some kids will tune out if you approach them a certain way. So I think you do have to be blunt, but I think you have to be careful. You got to meet the kid where they're at. You got to meet them on their level.
I agree. But at the same time, we're not going to use, I don't know, what is that? Oh, I can't remember it. Synonyms to it's a
pictures and graphs.
No, it's something where you're tap dancing around the real word, and it actually does more harm than help. Cannot remember the term, but
synonyms.
No, well, synonym. Well, kind of, but no.
Thesaurus, words.
Thesaurus?
Yeah,
thesaurus.
No, it's a full-on term. Can't
like
remember what it's called.
Somebody
knows. I know it. Somebody's like, girl, it's that. But anyways, yeah, you do want to meet the kids where they're at, but you absolutely do not want to say babies come from a stork type thing.
Right. Agreed.
Because the kid might be uncomfortable. No, that's not where
the kid's going to be uncomfortable
from.
regardless. In most situations, the parent's going to be uncomfortable, but the parent is the parent, so they need to take that uncomfortableness and just come with it.
Yeah.
I think kids nowadays, with the overexposure, that I think most kids that are like 11, maybe even 10 and older, know where babies come from. I mean, they show I remember when I was in school, they showed The Miracle of Life. I watched The Miracle of Life in second or third grade. And it was completely like, it was the stupidest thing ever, because it's a bunch of little immature kids and we're just cracking up laughing.
Break it down for me, Kel, The Miracle of Life. I don't know if they showed it.
You ever watched The Miracle of Life when you're in elementary school and they show the woman delivering a baby and they show the whole thing?
The crowning of the kid and all that?
They show and it's from like the 70s, so it's like Bush and like just very like
that's cool, huh?
The music, like the whole thing was it was like Debbie Does Dallas, but like a woman like delivering a baby.
We saw something like, or was that when I took Lamaze?
Trust me, Jess, it was probably Miracle of Life. That's what everybody watched, and then they showed like what an erection looks like and the whole thing. And I will never forget this one dude in my class. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's just laughing so hard. He goes, "Look at it. It looks like a sausage." And we're just like, they're just immature little kids.
Yeah.
To be expected. Kel, but we're okay. I don't know if they're still doing the Miracle of Life, but at Christian schools, there is no miracle. There is no Miracle of Life. You did not have sex. That did not happen. The baby came from.
That was at Catholic school, Jess. That was at St. Paul.
Where did the baby come from? The baby came from. Oh, okay.
That was that was at St. Paul. And so like So there's that. So, and that was like before social media and the internet, and like all we had was like softcore porn on the Spice Channel, and you had to make sure that fuzzy, like it get clean for a second, and then it'd go back being fuzzy, and like the public access porn, like that's what kids had access to growing up. Like everyone in the fucking 90s remember that. So now with these kids literally having softcore porn on their fingertips on social media, on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah. I feel like most kids 10 and over know where babies come from. Like,
yep. Well, I hope so, because I'm tired of kids not knowing where babies come from and not knowing that if you don't want a baby and you do this, that a baby may come. So
the unfortunate part about the soft porn, Kel and Jess, that we're talking about on social media.
I don't know about soft porn.
The skewed view of how you get there, right? Yeah, they may know where it comes from, but when you're talking about these relationships, what does a healthy relationship look like to get from, okay, sex to the baby? What does that look and feel like? And that's where the disconnect is. Yeah, you have the over sexualization. Yes, I got that one right. I took my time with that one. To get to the baby, right? But
over sexualization to get to a baby,
or from the social media side of thing, right? Or what it looks like. Of course, you have sex. We're doing all these TikTok dances. Everybody's sexy and all this kind of stuff. Okay, a boy and a girl have sex to have a baby, but what's a healthy relationship look like? Are you doing TikTok dances all day? Are you screaming at your boyfriend or girlfriend? Is it disrespect? Or do you have to buy them cars and all this kind of different stuff? Do you have to get to the bag? Or, I mean, is it healthy, basic love?
Right. And that's why we're here, because you're right, with the soft porn and it's right at your fingers and the TikToks and all that kind of stuff. You are definitely overexposed to it, but you still don't really know what it is. You don't understand it. You can see it. You can, as a matter of fact, that's when you get your misinformation, because you think it's this because you've seen it a million times on social media, on TV, but guess what? It's not that. And there are real life feelings, emotions. We had that episode, STIs, 16 and pregnant. There's all of those that are all in between all that nice stuff that you scroll through.
There's predators.
Yes, there's predators.
Sexual predators. Older guys, older women. It's all these boundaries that we have to talk about.
Cougars.
Right? It come with putting yourself out there, getting in these relationships, because everybody's not for you. Some people are scandalous, so you got to beware.
I like all the nicknames. Cougars, predators, all these things.
Because I'm saying, like, you could just open up the Explore page on your IG and there'll be a post that shows that says, oh, such and such has an alleged sex tape. Go to my bio and click the link in the bio if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then all of a sudden you're on a porn. You're all of a sudden on a porn server and you're watching.
I don't know what kind of Instagram you have.
But I'm saying, like, but it's about like rappers and shit like that.
Right. And the sex tapes are glorified these days.
Yeah, people glorify the fuck out of the sex tape.
Why can't I be a Kim Kardashian? Why can't I
misinformation
find a dumbass Ray J and then me and my entire family reap all of the benefits, and now my dude has to sing poorly to get likes and shit?
I mean, he do got the new headphones though. But the Raycon or the Raycons?
The Raycon?
Yeah, I got to get those. I got my earbuds, but I'm about to support Black.
Oh, no. Have you seen that commercial? Sorry, Ray J. Have you seen that commercial? I wonder when he got that deal after he sang So Fucked Up on the Verses.
If I had one wish.
And then he gets a deal for earphones. I don't want your earphones. Jesus. Are you kidding me?
I would get some. I'm going to go get me some. So... yeah, I'm gonna wear them next show.
And it was so low budget, the commercial. It looks like it's just a white background, like he was photoshopped in, and it's playing his music in the background. Sexy can I? And he's like, what?
I'm not hating on it.
Let me take my earbud out. Something like that. It's so corny.
Raycons.
So anyways,
Hey, listen, let Ray get his money. I'd rather him do that than do performances in people's living room.
He didn't get he didn't benefit from that. Oh no, what are you talking about, Kim?
Nah, when he was singing in Floyd Mayweather's living room playing the piano.
Yikes.
Remember when Fabulous made fun of him about that? He goes, Ray J, stop doing shows in Ray's living room or in Floyd's living room.
No, I did not. But that is.
Remember that's when he got mad and went off about the booty goons on the radio. Remember that?
I remember hearing about that.
I do. Ray's not.
Did you talk about
I
that?
did. Yeah, Ray J is not a live performer, so
Ray J is not a
still support
performer
you.
in general.
I support him, so I'm not mad at it.
Leave that to Brandy.
Anywho, I think this was a great episode, you guys. You gave some great knowledge. I will pass it off to my guy on the golf course and say, bro, here's the link. Watch the episode.
Yep.
You'll figure it out now.
Information
about soft porn, about
real porn,
doing it before you're ready, like all
sex
those things.
tapes, cougars, pumas.
But hey, I'm gonna let you guys get back to your trip. Enjoy yourselves in Hawaii. This is Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. They're on the island. Check out these guys. Follow them on IG. You can probably see what's going on their trip also. So just follow Marcus_Trufant, Jessica_Trufant. Of course, the page Truly Unruly _podcast. And of course, you can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. And if you want to catch the visual, of course, check us out on YouTube. Remember, like, subscribe, leave a review. Watch us every Sunday on Converge. All right, y'all. We out. Have fun. Be safe.
Love.